This conference will now be recorded.
Recording in progress.
So, are you started the recording, sir? Did you start the recording?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. First of all, thanks for joining my section. So, myself, Ravi Kumar. So, I have overall of 7+ years of IT experience. So, around 7.5 years of IT experience. In that, I work for various technologies. In the topmost first technology is Tableau. So, first I start my career with the Tableau. Okay, and then I will use to work with Power BI, and after that I work for Splunk, and in this time period only I work for the data warehouse. After that Splunk, now I am working for the Snowflake. In the middle of before entering into Splunk, I just work for the DevOps also. So my journey is like this. So it was overall of around 8 years of experience. Around 8 years. Around 80 years of. So here in my course structure, I will cover you both admin in Snowflake. I'm talking about a Snowflake. So why? Because my agenda is today to explain the Snowflake. So in Snowflake, I will cover you both admin plus development. So I will cover you both admin and development. So it takes nearly 35 to 40 hours. 35 to 40 hours. Period. So 35 to 40 hours time period. And Monday to Friday, I will give the classes. So Saturday is optional. And I will give you complete support. I will give you complete support. Complete support on WhatsApp. Complete support on WhatsApp. Like doubts all and other stuff. And I will share the documents, and I will share all the documents, all the docs within the WhatsApp itself. And I will show you references also. I will show you references to enhance your skill set. Reference docs to enhance your skill set. Next, coming to my experience, it's all clear. So from past 1.5 years onwards, I am working with Snowflake. Here, one benefit here is that, 1 second please. One benefit in Snowflake is that the most important thing is that in Snowflake, compared to other technologies, so no need to bother about the real time. So whatever the lectures I am teaching, whatever the class I am teaching, whatever the screen I am showing, whatever the software I am showing, entirely real time only. So within the course content itself, I will cover you interview questions, also, and real-time scenarios also, real-time scenarios also. Scenarios also, and I will give you resume shape of resume also, resume guidance and interview guidance. Interview guidance. Real-time topics, interview questions, real-time scenarios, and resume guidance and interview guidance. Everything, complete guidance will be provided here. Don't worry about it. And the most important, no need to bother about that. Whatever the class I am teaching, everything will be common on the real time. Okay, but what you need to remember here. So, do you know the Patti Kotti, a small shop in beside your home? So, I will teach you the small shop. In real time, it will be a D-Mart. That's it. You just make it as a bigger. You just make it as a bigger. Why? Because I will teach you entire shop in beside your home. Okay, but it's like symbolize your DMart. That's it. DMart is the project, and our lecture was a shop. But whatever the things available on the shop will be available on DMart also. Okay, but it's all bulk. Okay, so that's the simple thing. So up to now, do you have any questions? You can ask me. Up to now, do you have any questions? You can ask me. Only up to now. Why? Because I will give you classes. I will continue the class. After that, you will get more information on this Snowflake. So is that simple? Do you have any questions up to now? Please ask me. Next. What about openings, job openings? Yes, multiple openings are there. Lot many openings. So coming to that job openings, lot many. Almost all companies, all MNC companies are MNC companies are recruiting companies. Companies are taking Snowflake profiles. Almost all MNC companies are taking. Next, what about packages? What about packages? So not only the packages, like packages are huge. You can get up to 25 to 30 lakhs also, based on the experience, based on the 30 lakhs also, based on the experience, What is the minimum experience required? Minimum experience required. What is the minimum experience required on Snowflake? So companies are looking for minimum of 2 years. Minimum 2 years. Minimum 2 years. Max n years. Max n years. So in my students keeping minimum to my students keeping minimum to 2 years max 7 years. On Snowflake. On Snowflake only. And if they want to include that Snowflake to some other technology, minimum again 2 years and max n years. N years depends upon the experience. Experience on IT. So just I am telling about only on Snowflake. Only on Snowflake. If you want to go with another technology wise, so you want to make both other technology and Snowflake. So that time definitely minimum 2 years is Snowflake. Minimum 2 years of maximum and depends upon the experience on IT. You need to keep on Snowflake. But N should be your wish. But whatever the experience you can keep your experience. For example, in my experience, my overall experience is around 8 years. In that, around 2 years of a Snowflake experience. If I approach to the job MNC companies, so definitely I will get 25 to 30 lakhs package based on the experience. Okay. So what is the minimum salary we are getting? Minimum salary we are getting is minimum 8 lakhs and we are getting. Minimum is 8 lakhs and maximum is this one. So is there any possibility to get more than 30 lakhs? Yes, depends upon your requirement, your experience. So I am just mentioning within this range, 2 to 7 years range or 2 to 80 years range I am explaining. Okay, if it is more than that, so definitely you will get more than 30 lakhs packages. More than 30 lakhs packages. This was job openings, packages, and experience required. Now, this what exactly? Now, what is the prerequisite to learn the Snowflake? Prerequisite. Prerequisites to learn the Snowflake. What is the prerequisites to learn the Snowflake? So, the prerequisites are any SQL, like SQL. SQL is the prerequisite. So, simple query language is your prerequisite. And then any database, any data warehouse is the prerequisite. Sir, if I don't have any prerequisite, is I am eligible to get this job, this Snowflake? Yes. For my course content, as for my things, for my course content, according to me, no prerequisite. So if you know some basics of computer operation, some basic computing operation, basic computer operations like seeing movie, playing games, doing some operations in laptop, doing some operations, creating some file, or gaming, playing games, or creating files or talks. If you know some basic computer operations like seeing movie, playing games, creating files and talks based on the requirement. Okay, if you are familiar with computer, don't see spelling mistakes. I am not an English teacher. Okay, I'm not teaching any English here. Don't see spelling mistakes. If you are familiar with a computer or laptop, that is fine enough to learn my course content. Okay, why? Because every basic content will be every basic content will be covered in my course content. Content will be covered. Will be covered. Don't worry about it. Any questions? That's what. Next, coming to our agenda. Our agenda is Snowflake. What is our agenda? Eva, tell me. What I am not getting you. Somebody ping me. Ravi, your voice is not clear. 1 second, I will have my earphones. Wait.
Recording stopped.
I'm sorry.
Recording in progress.
Now, is it clear right now? Banu, sorry. Is it clear right now? Snowflake. So the topic is Snowflake. So anybody knows about Snowflake? What is Snowflake? So today my agenda is what is Snowflake and why Snowflake. So tomorrow we will see why, where Snowflake, when Snowflake, and what is the purpose of having Snowflake and how Snowflake. Okay, but today exclusively I am talking about what is Snowflake and why Snowflake. What is Snowflake and why Snowflake? Simply one definition I will give you for Snowflake. Snowflake is a one type of database. One type of database. One type of database which will call it as a centralized repository. So Snowflake is one type of database which will call it as centralized repository, which will stores the data coming from different range of sources. Snowflake is a one type of database which will call it as a centralized repository, which will store the data coming from different range of sources. It's a simple definition. and we call it as a cloud data warehouse. It is called as a cloud data warehouse. What it called as? Cloud data warehouse. So what it mean by cloud data warehouse? I will just make these two as a two different words. So this is one and this is one. I am making these two as a two different words. Snowflake simply call it as a cloud data warehouse. Okay, no problem. So I just making that as a two different words. What is mean by cloud and what is mean by data warehouse? So data warehouse is nothing but this one. So I'm just editing this one. Data warehouse. Data warehouse is a one type of database which will call it as a centralized repository which will source the data coming from different range of sources. But what it mean by cloud data and what it mean by Snowflake? So for that, I would like to know about cloud and on-prem. First, I would like to know about cloud and on-prem. So I want to differentiate both first. Anybody knows about the cloud and on-prem? What it mean by cloud and what it mean by on-prem? What it mean by cloud and what it mean by on-prem? Anybody knows that? First, on-prem. First of all, we need resources. So in industry, we need a resources. So I will show you one PPT. Cloud computing. So in every IT industry, in cloud, what is cloud computing? Okay, first I will go with the cloud computing. So in that, what is on-prem and what is cloud platform? So in every industry, like for example, IT industry. Okay, so if you talk about the IT industry, so if you talk about IT industry, we need a resources. We need a resources. So the resources like firewalls, router, switches, RAM, CPU, networking, storages, or sensors. So whatever it may be, firewalls, router, switches, RAM, CPU, networking, storages, sensors, IoT devices, whatever it may be. All these we call it as a resources. These all resources will be maintained on company premises only. Will be maintained on company premises only. On the company only. That we call it as a on-prem. All the resources will be maintained on company premises only. Will be called as an on-prem. But all the resources will be maintained on some other place. Some other places. And the servers will be called as a database, a software, whatever it may be. Okay. That resources we call it as a see. All these resources will be maintained on some other places as a cloud. Okay. Cloud. And this cloud data resources will be accessed via one device, via internet. So with one device, a basic device, a mobile or device computer, we are accessing all the resources on the some other places. All the resources in the some other place we are accessing via internet. That refers to a cloud, simple platform. On-prem means all the required resources will be maintained on company premises. All the resources will be maintained on some other place. Via internet, users will access that resources. We call it as a cloud resources. Clear? Now, in simple format, I will give you one example. On-prem means, do you know the solar panels? Solar panels. The solar panels will generate your power. That will be above your home. That means on the top of your home, they keep a solar panels, and with the help of solar panels, they will generate the power and they will utilize that power. Okay, users will utilize that power. Depends upon the requirement. But do you know the power resources, like water resources and coal resources and some other resources which will help to generate our power via big wires? They will send the power to our homes. That refers to cloud. Solar panels is nothing but on-prem. Why? Because that on-prem means the panels are on the top of our home. Okay. Everything you need to take care about it. You need to generate power, you need to take care maintenance, you need to buy that solar panels, and you need to take care everything. It is on top of your home. Okay. That we refers to the on-prem. But whatever the power right now we are utilizing, via big wires, we are getting the power and you are utilizing the power. Every month you are paying the money as per your usage. Every month you are paying the money as per your usage. That refers to cloud. Why? Because see here. If we talk about the on-prem, what are the drawbacks of on-prem? What is the best platform? Is it whether on-prem or cloud? Why people are looking for the cloud? Why? Because there is a lot of drawbacks on-prem. One is use capital requirement. You need to invest more money to purchase the physical hardware. You need more money to purchase the physical hardware. First thing. Limited scaling. Let's say you need 200 GB today. 200 GB. Okay, you are generating 200 GB, for example. You purchase 200 GB storage on today. Unfortunately, on tomorrow, it will be increased. You need 400 GB, but you have only a 200. That means limited. Again, you need to invest money on another 200 GB to get 400 GB. So that's what limited scaling. You can't. So if you want to increase or enhance, that time you need to invest more money again. Huge infrastructure required as to set up everything. You need an office. You need to make some climate controller like AC, and you need one admin. You need to make some temperature on it. Okay, everything you need to do. Huge infrastructure required. Time to take installation and configuration. For example, you have 100 servers in your on-prem. So one server installed one operating system. Every single server needs to be installed. For example, one server takes 1 hour time. For 100 servers, how much time? 100 into 1 hour. 100 hours it will take. Time taken process. The waste of resources during idle. For example, let's say you purchase 200 GB storage. But unfortunately, you are using only 100 GB. So what about remaining 100 GB? Today you purchase some 100 servers, but your usage is only 50 servers. What about remaining 50 servers? That are wasted now. So that's what. Latency issues. For example, your project is in India, but your users are from USA. So that time USA people getting latency to search the data from India. Why? Because it is so far away. So that is latency issues you are getting. Maintenance overhead, everything you need to take care about it. If any panel will be down, if any server will be down, and if any problem will become, everything you need to take care. For example, if a data center will be collapsed, no data recovery is there. For making one setup, you are investing more money. For say, making another setup means it is making more money, na? It needs to be invest more money, na? So that's why. So data recovery also not possible. Disaster recovery is also not possible. Simply why I am referred to the what we call power generator, like solar panels and whatever the power using right now. Why? Because, for example, if it is a solar panels, there is a lot of drawbacks. You need to invest more money to purchase the panels, and you need to clean the panels every day, and you need to take care about it. If any cloud season is there, rainy season is there, sometimes the power will not be generated. For example, today you are utilizing 100 units, tomorrow you want 150 units. No, there is no capacity for that unit. So you are generating 150, but your usage is only 50. What about 100 units? It will be wasted. So like that, it's all a drawback. Same like that on-prem also having a lots of drawbacks. So, but if you go with cloud, this all will be overcome. No need to invest. We just take a account in the cloud and we will use our services. Whatever the usage, as per the usage, you just pay your money. As per your usage, you just pay your money. That's a simple topic. So how much resources you are using, for that only you need to pay. Today you are using 50 resources, you need to pay 50. Tomorrow you are using 60, so you need to pay for 60 only. Again you can reduce that servers like 30, you need to pay for 30 only. Okay, no need of maintenance, no need of everything. Latency issues also not there. Why? Because we have different regions are there. We can select our data centers different based on our different regions. Okay, your users are very nearer to the USA. You can select our data center nearer to the USA, and also we can make a availability of data also. Availability zones also. Even though one zone will be failed, you'll get 100% data on another zone. Data recovery is possible. No need to take time for installation. Why? Because if you set up a one server, so that will be take it as the images. We can run as the images. So at a time you can install thousands, lakhs of servers also. Clear? Like that, there is a lot of on-prem drawbacks are there. So people are looking for the cloud. In the cloud, so they will provide the infrastructure, security, LCD, software, hardware operations, everything they will provide. That we call it as a data centers. So they will provide as a software as a service, applications, softwares, data, operating systems, physical servers, virtual machines, physical storages, completely they will provide. So they will provide software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. See, end users, application developers, infrastructure, and network, everything will be provided. So for Snowflake, three major vendors are providing: AWS, Azure, GCP. AWS, Azure, GCP. Three platforms are supporting Snowflake for storage and computing virtual warehouse. These three platforms are supporting for Snowflake. Okay. AWS means Amazon, Azure means Microsoft, GCP means Google. These all are the cloud vendors. Okay, these are three major cloud vendors. These three major cloud vendors are support to Snowflake. Any questions up to now? Any questions? All the resources used in IT privacy zone. All the resources will be company premises. Resources are all the resources are company premises. All the resources are some other place which was accessed by via internet. Accessed by users via internet. Major vendors are AWS, Azure, GCP. Any questions up to now? So that means it is a cloud data warehouse. So that means no need to purchase anything. For example, for computing power, we don't need to purchase a CPU, RAM, or something like that. For storage, no need to purchase everything. No need to purchase something like storage devices. So we can use a Snowflake with three major vendors. Snowflake with three major vendors called as AWS, Azure, and GCP. So that means Snowflake is taking or using the resources from the any cloud vendor. Snowflake is just a software which is taking the resources help from cloud vendors like AWS, Azure, and GCP. For example, if you take about for example, any operation, for example, in real time, in childhood time, if you talk about a computer, what is computer means? You can say that laptop, or like monitor, CPU, RAM, memory, okay, memory, and we can say keyboard, mouse, Ethernet or cables, all will be can say in childhood. But as of now, if you talk about a computer, computer is nothing but computing power, computing plus temporary storage, storage. Computer is nothing but computing plus temporary storage. So permanent storage is separate. Permanent is separate. These two are separate. Storage and computing power is separate. So storage and computing power is separate. Computing and storage are separate. So without a storage also we can call it as a computer, no problem. But only storage won't call it as a computer. Computer is nothing but computing power. It's Snowflake class. After 5 to 10 minutes, I will start the session. Another session. So computer means it's a computing power. Okay, it will process something, it will query the data, it will do something, it will do some algorithm, it will do some operations. Computer. Storage means it will stores the data, it will maintain the data, it will make it as some storage drive. Both are different. For Snowflake, these two, Snowflake is a software. To do operations in this software, we need to do operations or to make a query to process something, we need a computing power. We need a computing power. And to store some data coming from different range of sources, we need a storage. Both will be needed. For both will be provided by a cloud vendor. This both will be provided by a cloud vendor. Cloud vendors like AWS, Azure, GCP. So everybody needs some memory, man. So for example, if I ask to calculate something, your mind will activate and calculate something. Okay. But if I ask your name or your friend's name, that time storage is needed. For doing the operation, to doing the calculation, no need of storages. If you know some algorithm or if you know some mathematics, that operation will run. That needs a computing power and temporary storage. Okay. Whereas permanent storage means your friend name will be permanently stored in our mind. Okay. So to talk to the other guys, no need of permanent storages. If you have some common sense, if you have some mindset, that will enough to talk with the guys. That means to do the operations, to make a query, to run the operations, so we need a computing power with a temporary storage is fine. Computing power with temporary storage is meant like CPU and RAM is fine. What about the storage? What about the storage? It is a permanent storage. We can make some data on that permanent storage. So we can use this data in future uses, future purpose. So that time, Snowflake is a software platform with the help of any cloud vendor like AWS, Azure, and GCP. They will get a power to compute and store your data. So that's why this entirely we call it as a cloud Snowflake. Call it as a cloud data warehouse. Cloud data warehouse. Any question? Please ask me. Any question? Please ask me. So this what simply Snowflake is a data warehouse. So Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Okay, it is one type of database which is called it as a centralized repository which will store the data coming from different range of sources. Simple, that is simple. So this is what Snowflake. Then why? So we will see tomorrow on why. Do you have any questions? You can ask me on tomorrow. Why on tomorrow? Any questions? Please ask me. So thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye. Yes, Faninda. Do you have any questions?
No, Ravi.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, sir,
Yeah.
today only I joined in this class. Before classes, ma'am
It is
shared.
good. First class. First class. This is the first class for Snowflake.
Introduction, right?
It's just a demo. Just a demo.